Are we running?
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Quite nice. Hey everyone, Hunter here, all from Lego Studios. I am joined with DeVito.
Hi.
And a monster man with makeup.
Yeah, we just got back from a Halloween party. He's a zombie thing. I was sort of Daredevil, I guess.
No one knows.
I don't know. I just got off of work. It's the best I could do.
I was Wolverine. I've got my dog tag still on.
You even have a YouTube channel?
He doesn't have a YouTube channel.
To post videos.
No, not recently, no. Anyway,
Echo Plays Gaming!
yes, Echo Plays Gaming, we are plugging you all over the place. Anyway, so, we were kind of stuck as to what the heck we were going to be doing with this video.
Yes.
It's like, do we do a Bean Boozle? No, we've done that.
Do we do a Try Not to Laugh?
I haven't.
That one came out kind of weird. The Try Not to Laugh.
That was weird.
I don't know.
We need to put more thought into it.
We need to actually get a list of that and
The
like
thing
have a
with
better
you
recording
guys
setup.
that it isn't funny is because it's
David.
kid-friendly.
Yeah, it does have to be kid friendly.
That's the reason why you don't really
get
laugh.
a file of funny videos for us and then give it to us.
That's actually not a bad idea.
That way we
have him
have-
vet them and then
That
go
way
from
we
there.
don't know what they are.
But you have to
And
have an
James
editor
knows-
system where you have to download all the videos.
Regardless, that's
Get
not
off
why we're
topic.
here. So we were just bouncing around ideas, and we were like, we could just like sit and chat about stuff. What do we chat about? I don't know. Why don't we just chat about something we have opinions about? Well, why don't we just debate about something? Okay, what do we debate about? So we finally
There's a long
settled.
process.
We finally settled on the age-old question: console
or
versus
game.
PC. So, where exactly do you guys sit on that side of the argument? Which of you?
How about we do one at a time?
Well,
just
no,
so...
let's just establish what we're doing. So, console or PC?
That for me, it's debatable because they both have
if
their
you had
flaws.
to pick one, right off the top of your head, console or PC?
Console being Xbox, PlayStation, Wii.
For both of them, I would
Any
pick PC because for me, like well,
we have an answer. PC. What about you? Console or PC?
I've played both, but in my opinion, I've been more into console gamings. I've enjoyed more console than PC.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy PC games, but I think consoles got the edge over me.
Well, seeing as I'm sitting in the middle, I guess I'll just be the mediator, middle ground here. Although, fair warning, I do skew much more firmly on the PC side of things, but I do acknowledge that consoles are much more advantageous at certain things than other things the PC can't do, yada yada yada.
I'll say most of that because I play a lot of Xbox and computer.
So basically, you're neutral.
I'll try to be neutral. Again, I am
neutral.
much more biased towards PC. I've never actually owned an actual console of any kind. My dad was always, well, if you're gonna have something to play games on, you might as well have it be a computer, because at least you can do stuff on a computer that you can't with a console. I mean, can a console do your taxes? So I've never had an
Walmart,
Xbox or Nintendo, anything like that.
Actually,
so.
Walmart lowered the prices on their Xboxes.
Still probably not gonna get one, but I mean, you guys have got one. I could just borrow yours. So anyway, basically, when people talk about console versus PC, it usually comes down to the graphics, which one can handle the graphics better.
Style of the game.
Style of the game is pretty
Most games
subjective. It can go either way.
That's
Sure,
the
no.
thing about PCs and consoles is they basically have the same games.
For some degree.
but-
There's a lot of games that are only available on console. There's a lot of
Yeah.
games that are only available on PC.
Although
I would argue that PC games get ported over to consoles a lot more than consoles get ported over
But the thing
to PCs.
about PCs is
Same
what
thing
kind
with
of
Minecraft.
computer.
It originally started on PC, and then it.
Oh yeah,
moved.
I firmly believe that Minecraft should only be played on PCs.
Yeah, PC is probably the best for
There's
Minecraft.
Pocket Edition. There's Wii U, Xbox.
But honestly, the Minecraft in particular, when you play it on a PC, it's not the same, and it can't control the same way it would on a PC. It's a completely different experience. at
Because
that
with
point.
PC, you can switch with a bunch of different versions. Like you can switch to 1.1.
No, I'm talking more
1.12.
how you control it, and
Yeah.
you know, to point and click at the different blocks,
Right.
as opposed to I'm wiggling my sticks, go in the right place. So yeah, there's
And besides, you can move a lot better.
More often, PC games get converted into console.
I would definitely agree with that.
But
But-
PC.
So anyway, kind of got me off topic there.
Yes.
So your basic points are your graphics, the storyline, the mentality of the publishers. I can't think of anything off the top. Well, let's just go ahead and start with that.
Actual fun, actually enjoying the game.
The game mechanics, yeah, and actually, well, as part of the game mechanics, I would argue the amount of innovation that goes into PC versus console. So we'll start with the graphics. At least in your experience, between a PC or a console thing, which one has the better graphics?
Well,
In
that's
my
the thing
opinion,
about things. You can go first.
In my opinion, I think consoles got the more graphics than PC, being that PC probably does have more games than actual one console than, like, say, Xbox and PlayStation and Wii. PC's probably got the more amounts of games.
Mm-hmm.
But the process of being with the graphics, I'm gonna say console probably has the edge in graphics.
Actually, no, because
Well,
first thing is PlayStation's always, or PlayStation 3 and below always has 780p. That's the max that they can go because it's older system.
Mm.
But with computer, you can go to I think 3080p.
You could go a 4K on a PC if
Yeah.
you want. But here's the tricky part, though, is that technically speaking, you could get equally good graphics on a PC or a console.
Yeah.
But if you want to get comparable graphics on a computer, you're gonna be sinking a lot of money into a very high-end gaming computer.
Yeah.
Whereas any console out there is gonna be what, $500 or whatever. Or
At Walmart, the highest Xbox price is only $250.
yeah, exactly. It's
So for Xbox X.
It's supposed to be a much more consumer-friendly
the Xbox
price.
One was $250.
No, Xbox X. That's like almost 700 actually.
Well, regardless, compared to a $2,000 or $3,000 custom-built computer rig,
Just
it's-
for gaming, and
yeah.
buying a console for about $250, $300.
Exactly.
There's
So
a big
it's-
difference.
But technically speaking, if you had the very, 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 very best in computer stuff, you can get arguably better graphics.
But that's one thing is you still have memory and stuff where if you have Black Ops 3.
Okay, but that's a slightly different issue. We'll get back to that in a minute.
Oh.
So the question at this point then becomes: do you want to be able to pay for the really good but not maybe the best graphics for very little, or do you want to get the absolute best graphics for a heck of a lot of money? And more specifically, do you want to be able to get comparable graphics but have two very different ways of interacting with the computer, or the game rather? Which I guess kind of goes into the next point of which one is better as far as actually being a platform to play games on. So controller versus mouse and the keyboard, basically.
Yeah.
So which one?
But the thing about that is both of them have their things. Where computer gaming with like first-person shooters, people love to have controllers on computers. But with Xbox and all those, they love to have the keyboard and mouse because with computers, the keyboard and mouse, everyone has the same sensitivity where they can go all over the place. But with a controller, they have more control over their sensitivity and all of that, which most people do.
Now that is a big point that I'm very firm on, is that especially with a first-person shooter, there's no way you can beat the actual controllability of having a mouse with a keyboard. Yeah, I mean, it's not all in one little bundle. You have to have your hands in two separate places, but compared to being able to be looking straight forward and then suddenly just, now I'm looking straight back. Oh, I'm looking over there. Oh, I'm looking over there. As opposed to, I'm slowly panning this way. Now I'm slowly panning this way.
Now that's only like if you have like force sensitivity.
Okay, if you have your sensitivity way up high, let's see. Whoa, I'm panning over this way, and whoa, but now I want to actually aim at something. Whoa, nope, that just up a little. No, down a little. Okay, now I can finally. I missed.
In Minecraft, as a joke, I set my sensibility up to
sensitivity
really high. I was just like zooming all over the
Exactly.
place.
Just like you say, beta is beta.
So you can get accuracy, but it's gonna. Forgive the barking dog. So you can get accuracy if you really work at it, but it's going to be a heck of a lot harder being able to precisely judge when you're going to be moving, as opposed to just... I would argue that a mouse is a much, much, much more intuitive way to control a camera and literally anything.
For my opinions, the controller... Excuse my dog. In my opinion, there's types of games that I would rather play on a keyboard and mouse, and then there's other types of games where I'd rather be playing using a controller.
That's true.
Some games, like say you're wanting to use a keyboard and you're stuck with a controller, you're not going to enjoy it as much because you're working with something that you'd rather not work with. And same thing with the controller, with the keyboard, like saying, "Oh, I just got this game. I don't have the controller yet, so I'm gonna have to play on the keyboard." And it's so some games, it is better to play with a controller, and other games it is better to play with a keyboard. Like Minecraft, definitely play better with a keyboard.
Heck
Yeah.
But actually, an example we were just talking about, Don't Starve, being a top-down thing where you're going around. I would argue that one does better with a controller, just because where you're aiming that quickly doesn't really matter all that much, and
because you don't have that many control buttons actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically you have space, you have left trigger, you don't even have really right trigger. You have.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna deal with my dog.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's basically.
He's got him.
I'm moving him from my spot. But he's basically is with the controller you have less space of moving your keyboard wherever you want.
Another point, a controller is a lot more compact, and you can just move it around or whatever and still have everything going. You can just lean back and be like, "Oh, I got my controller here." So
I'm done with the dog.
So yeah, a keyboard and mouse is going to be clunky, but I think for most things it is still going to be very superior from a controller.
From some games.
So like
depending on the game.
Probably with like PUBG. Have you ever heard of
I've heard of it, I've not played it.
But I've seen so many things. But with it would be a lot better with the controller because you have so many things to press where you have your controllers to actually move. You have the things to press for your guns, to switch spots from your grenade to your machine gun, or your armor ability stuff, or not armor ability, to put on armor, stuff like that, heal.
Again, I think it does depend greatly on what kind of game it is.
Yeah.
Again, Minecraft, definitely keyboard. In my opinion, I think Halo's much more better with a controller than a keyboard.
I'm gonna argue that any first-person shooter is gonna be better with a mouse and keyboard, but
But a lot of people who play games on the computer, if you guys don't know about Preston Plays or TR Frags, he plays a lot of console for shooters on the computer, like Black Ops 3, stuff like that. And he actually says that Black Ops 3 and all first-person shooters are way better on console because because with controllers it's a lot easier. Because his friend T-Bear,
I would agree. I would agree that a controller is a leveling thing. It makes it so that everybody has to use the same thing, and they all are gonna play in the same way. So it's not like somebody's got a faster mouse or whatever. But I would also argue that it's all
You've
the players
also got
being,
the people who have auto clickers.
Yeah.
I would argue that with everybody using controllers, they're all having to deal with a handicap rather than all of them being able to do this thing to its optimum ability. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, incidentally, so speaking of PlayerUnknown's Battleground, as I'm sure you're aware, that's something of an indie title that some guy came up with.
All people love PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
So the next question is the kinds of games that are available on PC versus console. Yeah. More specifically, the question of the availability of indie titles, or
also there's some things that are on console,
like Mario and Nintendo games. There's not Steam games. There's Microsoft games, and then there's
Microsoft is basically
PlayStation.
Microsoft is the biggest actual gaming company there is.
Shaking the table, you're shaking the camera.
But Microsoft has the most games. Actually, yes.
Well, that wasn't quite the question I was getting at, though.
Yeah.
Over the past few years, there has been a large rise of indie developers. People who are independent from the big game companies like Microsoft and Nintendo, and many people have argued that these independent developers are able to come up with much more creative, much more innovative ways of gameplay than you could get from any of these big publishers, because they're only going to publish what's popular, what people like, what's safe. There's not going to be a whole lot of
Horror,
development. Well,
stuff like
no,
that.
I'm not talking about genres. I'm talking about actual different kinds of gameplay that's never been done before.
Yeah. Because there's a game called Outlast. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's a horror game like that, but it's way different from most horror games.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's basically there's monsters, there's people, but the people are the monsters because the
Okay. We get the idea.
Yeah.
But what was your point with that?
But yeah, most horror games are basically the same. Where there's like The Walking Dead season 1, 2, and 3, where they're zombies.
Okay, stop advertising game. What's the point you're trying to get to?
But yeah,
I don't
most
want to
horror
get
games have this.
copyrighted by these
No
games.
copyright. Stay away,
No.
DMCA.
See?
But most games, or most horror games are the same. There's same
I
aspects.
will agree that there's a lot of horror games tend to be
Similarities.
very, very similar as far as what they do, how they execute their scares,
Yeah.
and what makes them scary. But the question is, from the angle of PC versus console, which one does a better job of bringing you those indie titles, those new and innovative titles, the ones that have never been thought of before and are something new and different?
Well, that's the thing about
I think
where
PC comes up with a lot of more new games, but console definitely has a bunch of those classic games. Like you've got Mario, you got Sonic.
Well, yeah, but you can play those on a PC too.
Yeah. You've also got Halo, Call of Duty,
but all of those
a
are
bunch of other
also on-
games.
Technically, a bunch of those are available on PC
Yeah.
too, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that are on the PC, or aren't on the PC, but on consoles, and
Mhm.
there's a
Stop
lot of
shaking the
things
table.
that are on consoles than PC, like PUBG. Apparently, it's going to come on out to Xbox because there was like an interview with the
like
actual
PUBG.
thing. PUBG is amazing. How dare you?
It's just a battle royale thing. It's just like Sky Wars and that one Minecraft server.
Huh. Hypixel?
Hypixel, yeah. It's literally the same
Same
thing
thing.
as Sky Wars.
I thought you were going to say copyright, but Hypixel wouldn't copyright this video.
I don't know. Would you Hypixel?
I doubt that. More.
If
more
you're
people
watching,
play.
please don't
No
copyright us.
I've had like one copyright already.
Hypixel.mc. No.
No.
Play Hypixel.
Shush!
Stop.
You're getting off topic.
Technically, I don't think that's copyrighted because it's publicly available, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, but that's beside the point. Anyway.
Yeah, it depends on, for newer games, I'm going to say PC, because there's a bunch of brand new games coming out. But console definitely has a good way of like continuing sagas, and
Some would argue that those continuing sagas is just them doing the same thing over
Oh,
and
yeah.
over again
But
because they
it
know.
doesn't mean they're always good. Like
some
the
things are a
original
lot
Mario
better.
will always beat the new Mario.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt that there have been games that are brand new, completely innovative that no one's ever seen before that have come out on consoles.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking more in terms of more recent stuff. So well, for example, how many Xbox games do you know of that are not a continuation of a long-standing series?
I think there's a new one that just came out, and I
mean-
can't remember.
Can you
Wait,
think
what?
just off the top of your head? Can you name any Xbox games that you've played that are not a sequel from something else?
I can't. My mind's gone, Brian.
There's
I can't-
Minecraft.
I can't-
Well, yeah, but that was ported to the Xbox.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
Yeah,
do
most
you-
games
I
that
don't
are,
think
uh,
Rainbow Six.
That's part of
Siege.
a long series of,
Yeah.
of military shooting thingamajigs.
Yeah, I can't think of any at the
Probably
top of my
quite a
head.
few, because
they
there's-
tend to do more sequels and all that.
Call of
yes,
Duty.
yes. That Call of Duty is a very
Yeah, I know.
long-standing series.
There's
so
many different kinds.
They do make new games, new intellectual properties and everything. But I would argue that PC does, or the console rather, does get a bit formulaic and a bit repetitive, in that they just
Yes.
want to keep building on their already established series.
They pretty
Again, because they are safe, they know people are gonna buy them if they keep
they're
making
pretty much
them.
like they're like, well, we know that people like these games. We know we know they're gonna enjoy this new one. Let's just give them what we know is gonna give us money and all this.
We might have an idea for something that's not been done before,
It's
but we
kinda
don't.
like what
But we don't
Transformers-
necessarily want to actually do the idea and make something new because we don't know if we're gonna make money off of it.
It's kind of like how Michael Bay does with this Transformers movie.
It's literally the same
everyone-
freaking movie. What, 6 times now?
5.
4, 5. I've lost count. It's just ridiculous.
Everyone hates on the movies. Everyone complains about it. But the sad thing is
that makes a ton of money
everyone
because
doesn't see it.
Michael Bay himself said when asked why his movies suck, he said, "Oh, doesn't matter if they suck. You're gonna go see it anyway."
Everyone goes see the Transformers movie,
Yeah.
even though they say it sucks. I enjoy the Transformers movie, but it does get repetitive.
So that's why I would argue that the console market is kind of skewing that same direction in that they want to stick to the established
Yeah,
series.
they're keeping safe.
They want to stick to the safe zone. They don't want to venture way off into the deep unknown territory.
That's why there's 5 Transformers movies and 2 Ninja Turtle movies.
Yeah, it's.
There's actually quite a few Ninja Turtle movies.
Well, Michael Bay Ninja Turtle movies are
Wait,
only
there's
2.
Michael Bay?
Okay. Getting off topic. Getting off topic.
Um,
We can talk about that later.
The console tends to keep with what they have safe, and they know people are going to like them venture out too much.
I mean, you could make the argument that, well, yeah, but they're building off of series that are good,
Yeah.
though, and
They're
so
building-
so it's a good thing that they're doing this because they're continuing to deliver on the stuff.
Yeah.
All these indie developers, they make like one game and that's it. And it's like, come on, we want more than just one game.
Yeah. Again, with Mario, Sonic, and Call of Duty, they keep making new games. The reason why is because
Well, there's more games like
everyone likes enjoying playing
Well,
them.
not everyone.
But when was the
because
last-
there's probably a lot of people who don't like Mario, probably a lot of people who don't like
So when was
Sonic,
the last time
stuff
you?
like that.
When was the last time you heard of a sequel to Undertale? Or
Undertale, didn't they only make one game of Undertale?
Okay.
Two, I
I was
think.
gonna say a sequel to Five Nights at Freddy's, but that's a bad example.
Yeah, there's
thought
probably
this-
like 20s to 30s.
No, there's only Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, I'm sure.
2, 3, 4. There's a solo one.
There's
sort of.
tons.
there's
There's
a lot.
Sister
there might be a
Location.
sixth one coming out at some point.
There's-
Hey, off topic. So, but yeah, so you could kind of argue that building on the established series is a good thing if you like having lots of the same thing.
Like,
I
say
guess.
you're
And if
giant-
that's the case, there's nothing wrong with that.
Say you're a giant Call of Duty fan and you enjoy getting new games of that.
Yeah, and you get a little hyped and pumped for the new game coming out. And
Yeah,
you play
like
it, and
the
you're just like,
newest
"Wow,
game
this one's built so much on the previous game, and I love all the improvements they're doing. This is great."
Yeah, the
and
newest one
that's
is like
fine.
Call of Duty.
But that is
World
why
War
they
II.
make money because there's people who like exactly that.
And
nothing
there's
wrong with
some
that.
Call of Duty games or other games that aren't good. Because, like, Black Ops 3, I love the multiplayer and zombies, but the campaign sucks. But the first 2 are so awesome. But the third one doesn't even relate to the first 2. There's a lot of people who actually say that. And that it's like they made 1 and 2 of the same campaign of all the things. But 3, it's way different, which I would have liked them to do, like, the grandson of the person, stuff like that. But, go on.
We're getting off topic.
A little bit getting off topic.
We're already at, what is it?
Where are we at currently?
23 minutes.
Woo, boy.
Yeah,
Well, let's start buckling down and stuff. So,
Okay.
So, are there any other core issues I mentioned that we haven't covered yet?
we've got the graphics, story,
Well, that was one aspect of what we were just covering is that as far as the storytelling and the actual content of the game, not how fancy it is or what the game
Your
mechanics are.
hand is messed up.
Thank you. But the actual
So nice.
story of the game. The question being, which one is more story tends to be more story and character driven? Is it Xbox or is it console or PC?
That's actually almost the same. Because there's story things.
I'm
There's
actually
a bunch of different story thing companies like Telltale, all that. But
Yes.
there are most of the Telltale ones and all of those storyline ones are on the console with the PC. There's some that are different, but most of them are on there, like Outlast 1 and 2 on console, all the Telltale one, most of them.
Okay, there are more companies that make video games that tell stories besides Telltale.
Yes.
Okay.
And it may not even be, a point-and-click adventure game like what Telltale makes. It may be, like an RPG or an action game or whatever, but it'll actually still be telling a story.
Because Telltale made a Batman video game.
Also,
yeah,
7 Days to Die, which is kind of like...
But, getting off topic, in my opinion, as much as I think PC does have a lot of story modes, I'm going to always go with the story modes of consoles, because...
it's way easier.
They've got a bunch of different story modes that you can get attached to. Say, you want a point and shoot game, definitely go to Call of Duty or Halo. If you want a fun little kiddish story mode, Sonic. If you want a classic cartoon game, definitely Mario. For PlayStation,
well, that's not really the question I was asking though. Is that you can have a game that's just straight game mechanics.
Oh.
So you can have a game that's just here's the thing that you're doing, and it's challenging or whatever, but you just do it anyway. Yada yada yada. Or you can have a game that you still do that same stuff, but there's a deeper meaning. There's a story. There's a character that's going through stuff. That there's a story that's being told.
Oh, there's also Zelda. I always forget about Zelda.
Well, Zelda is actually a good example of an action game, but it has a very long running, complicated, and oftentimes compelling storyline going on.
There's Minecraft Story Mode, which is really good.
Well, Minecraft Story Mode is just a point and click.
Yeah, that's just the story with very few game mechanics. That's kind of the point of a point and click adventure game. Yeah. So I'm not necessarily asking about point and click adventure games. I'm just asking what, in general, which has games that generally do a better job of telling you a story, getting you invested in it, getting you invested in the characters, having a compelling storyline.
That's the thing about both things. There's certain ones with PC that is really good, but there's certain ones with console that's really good, but they're both on the computer and console.
Both do a great job.
So they're basically medium with that thing.
I've got to get you guys to play more indie games.
But console, in my opinion, console I think does a better job in storytelling, just because there's a bunch of really good story games. Fallout they have great storylines.
Never even played Fallout.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
Played Fallout 4.
You watched it.
Technically, Fallout 1 and 2 have a way better storyline than anything of the following Fallout games.
Fallout 4.
And those were only on the PC.
Ooh. Yeah, you've never played Fallout.
I'm going to hit you.
Do it.
Okay, then. But other than that, you got...
Put it back.
Put my claws back. You got Zelda, Mario with great story telling. And,
Mario with great storytelling.
Yes.
Mario.
Yes.
With great.
It's a song.
Have you played? Run, 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 run. Jump, jump, jump.
It doesn't have
Mario,
that great
your princess
story.
is in another castle. Run, 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 run.
That's
jump.
The thing about
jump.
Mario is
your princess is in another castle.
You do realize that Mario...
Yes, I know there's more games to it than that, but Mario has never been one for rich storytelling and having well-crafted characters and concepts.
And you should know that. We have so many... We've played so many Mario
That's the funny
games.
thing is, it's quite repetitive, but it does get a lot of money.
Oh. Getting off topic.
Okay, I think this video has been running on quite long enough. So at this point, we've managed to nail down a few of the very definite pros, some of the very definite cons of each of the platforms.
Both have pros and cons.
But the question comes down to this: keeping the pros and cons in mind, which one do you think is better? A better balance of the pros and the cons. Which one has the features that you think are more important versus the ones you think are less important?
Okay.
More.
So, which do you like better, Hunter? About everything.
there's definitely more pros in PC. I will admit that PC has a lot of more advantages than consoles.
Like mods and
But
stuff.
well, mods other any game can have mods.
My biggest argument in favor of PCs is that a PC, no matter how powerful or whatever is available for it, a PC is always going to be more versatile.
Yeah,
it's going to have
PC's
a
gonna
wider
last
range.
longer.
It has a wider range of stuff available for it.
That's something that I'm probably going to say PC has a higher hand that's probably going to last longer than consoles in gaming styles. But I still think consoles are a better gaming unit for myself. Now, I definitely know there's a bunch of more people who say PC's better. I agree. PC games are fun. David's telling me that he wants me to come over to his house again and do videos on a bunch of old video games on the computer.
I've got some old
we're
ones.
coming on to
So he's
like
I actually took his old computer, which is still running XP.
Yep.
Just so I could play some of the really, really old ones. I've
yeah.
got.
The thing
Yeah,
is, you
it's-
can't even add internet to it.
Yeah, if I add internet to that thing, that'll get hacked faster than you can blink.
Yeah, it's that old.
Yeah, it's
But yeah, we gave
well,
it to
heck,
him.
I still have my sister's old computer, which runs Windows 95.
Oh, dang.
Dang, yeah.
Getting off topic, but yeah, he wants me to go over to his house and play a bunch of random different.
Heck, I just
Video
need you to I need to get you to play some indie games so you can have appreciation of stuff outside of the big boys over the AAA publishing houses.
Yeah, that's what we were
yeah.
discussing before this video. Is me and David to play Don't Starve together,
Yeah, that would be fun. We need to do something with that.
and
So-
maybe making a video of that.
Okay,
I think
so
we're getting off topic.
yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
we're supposed to be doing closing thoughts here.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you think of all the topics? I'll go last. You go
Because
first.
I've already made my opinions very clear that I
These
think
are-
PCs are very much more versatile, and if you're willing to put the time and effort into it, are just as good, if not better, in literally every aspect
The
than,
pretty much
than a
thing.
console. But the one thing I will concede for consoles is that if you want to do literally nothing but play the new games, have them look good and be easy to use, yes, a console is going to be cheaper. It's going to do what it's best at. What
It
it's
has
designed to
better
do is to run
graphics.
games. It has better graphics other than the higher end computers.
So literally,
And
the main
is
thing
much
is
more approachable because it's much cheaper.
and you can
It
have
has mu-
so much games that
the question. And the
do
main thing
anything.
is if you're patient enough to earn enough money, save money, and wait to buy a high-end gaming computer to play games, then yeah, you're gonna get a better deal with a PC. But if you're just going like, oh, I love playing video games, I'm not gonna spend over $1,000 to get this high-end.
more than that.
Thousands of dollars to buy a PC, a gaming